In this video, I'm going to be talking about the dangers of orbiting other people. So while seeking emotional stability is a valid goal for most of us, orbiting another person as a means to achieve that emotional stability can be really, really dangerous. Orbiting another is actually a form of codependency, and that is a dysfunctional relationship pattern in which one person excessively relies on another to meet all their emotional, psychological, and sometimes physical needs. This can sometimes involve an unequal balance of power, and it can be quite emotionally draining. So the question is, why do we do this? Often orbiting another person, it arises because we might have some deep-seated emotional issues, a fear of rejection, a fear of abandonment. And it can often involve enabling destructive behaviors or sacrificing one's own needs for another person. So some people might even characterize their obsession with another as a strong emotional attachment and almost a sense of responsibility for the other person's well-being. So we can think that like we're doing good in this orbiting behavior because it often involves enabling, caretaking, feeling responsible for another person. And that's why it can start to become quite problematic because it can interfere with personal growth and emotional well-being. But there are some dangers of orbiting in other people. The first danger is the dependence on that external validation. If we're just excessively really relying on someone else for that stability, it can lead to a real dependency on that external validation. You know, your emotional well-being becomes so contingent on the actions and responses of others. And their responses can be unpredictable and unsustainable. And as a coping mechanism, that may hinder your personal growth and self-reliance. It can also prevent you from developing healthier coping strategies and emotional resilience, which is really crucial for long-term stability. It can lead to emotional stagnation, and that keeps you tethered in the past, making it even more difficult to fully invest in new experiences or relationships. The second is inconsistency in the support that you receive. Because the person you're orbiting may not always be available or willing to provide the support that you seek. And that inconsistency can lead to increased emotional turmoil and instability, as your reliance on them is not guaranteed to be met. The person you're orbiting may also not share the same intentions and feelings, and they may reject your attempts at connection. And that rejection can lead to further emotional distress or instability. I have a client who was really focused on orbiting his partner in the relationship. And there was this kind of unequalness between them, where he was the rescuer and she was the one that was to be rescued. And the more he orbited her and the more empowered she became, he actually started to get quite frustrated at her empowerment. It's almost as if the contract between them was, because I am rescuing you, you need to be grateful and kind of give me the connection back. Not everybody appreciates this contract, and they may reject that attempt at connection, as my client found. And that caused a lot of distress and instability for him. Number 3, unresolved issues. Orbiting often occurs when there are unresolved issues from your past. Continuously engaging with those issues without addressing them directly can really perpetuate this instability and prevent you from achieving closure, prevent you from having a relationship with someone who is an equal. You will almost find that a lot of your relationships have this kind of savior complex thing going into it, and often the person that is being saved isn't as grateful as you'd like them to be. That saving also doesn't guarantee that they will maintain and have that connection that you desire. Number 4, unhealthy comparisons. Orbiting can lead to unhealthy comparisons between your current life and this perfect perceived life of the person that you're orbiting. So if you're orbiting someone that you think is better than you, that can really erode your self-esteem and lead to feelings of inadequacy. If you're orbiting someone where it's not really clear what the construct of that relationship is, it will lead to number 5, which is an invasion of their privacy. So in some cases, the orbiting can cross boundaries, it can invade their privacy, particularly if they've clearly indicated a desire for no contact or they've clearly said that this is a casual relationship or a relationship where they don't really want anything serious. If you don't kind of get the hint of that, it can even lead to legal or social consequences. Number 6, missed opportunities. Focusing on orbiting someone can really prevent you from seizing new opportunities for emotional growth, self-discovery, and forming healthier connections with others who are better suited to support your emotional stability. Orbiting can also interfere with your ability to fully invest in new relationships, preventing you from building those meaningful connections and the emotional stability with new people who enter your life. Maintaining that constant kind of orbit thing can also take a lot of time and emotional energy, and that can be better spent on self-improvement, new relationships, and your personal goals, and can be draining and unproductive. So to avoid these dangers, it's important to assess what are your motivations for orbiting someone. Consider whether it's genuinely beneficial for your well-being, and even if it's genuinely beneficial for their well-being. If you find that this orbiting is causing more harm than good, it might be a good time to start to disconnect and focus on your own growth and happiness. Seeking support through a program like the Naked.Recovery Codependency program or one of our trauma recovery programs can be very helpful in navigating this complex emotional dynamic. It can also help you get to the source of why the orbiting happens for you in the first place. Are you projecting something into that relationship? Are you trying to repair something from your previous life? Have you got unresolved trauma? Is there some kind of dynamic here that's going on that you're not aware of? And does this start to become a pattern where you rescue people that you then experience are not grateful for your rescuing, and there's this inequality or unequalness in relationships? If you find these kinds of patterns are happening to you, get the support that you need to get to the bottom of it so that your relationships can be more equal and you can actually be in fulfilling places where your needs get met. If you want to find out more about our programs, book a clarity call on one of our websites and we can chat through your particular situation. And for more videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button on our channel. Take care.